Harris was tasked to address the root causes of migration. She's taken heat for not taking enough in-person trips to the border. What do you think she was able to do? What did she exactly do?
So, I mean, she never was the border czar. That's a good starting place. She was asked to work on the diplomatic engagement with Central America early on. She was very involved in the anti-corruption strategy and the diplomatic engagement, particularly with Guatemala and Honduras, where we did see some good transitions over time. You can argue whether or not she played a big role in that, but she certainly did early on, was a little less engaged later. She was very involved in generating private investment in Central America, and she stayed very engaged with that. And she was somewhat involved in the root causes strategy early on, which was the development response, but that was mostly taken over by USAID. So if you went on the balance, I mean, she was given a very limited task, and she did the limited task well, but the question is, should she have done more?
Yeah, and a lot of her supporters say Trump should not be saying borders are, borders are, borders are, when that wasn't what she was called. But at the same time, if you're tasked with basically doing that, it doesn't matter what it's called. It's sort of semantics in some ways. In a speech during a trip to Guatemala in 2021, Harris gave a warning to prospective migrants. Let's listen to that. I'll let you respond.
I want to emphasize that the goal of our work is to help Guatemalans find hope at home. At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur.
Do not come. Was it strong enough? This provoked criticism from both sides of the political spectrum. Andrew, can you break it down for us? Was this criticism deserved or not?
It wasn't the most artful thing she ever said, no matter which side you're on, right? Because on one hand, if you say do not come, but actually the enforcement measures aren't that strong, and at the time, we can argue why, but mostly it was because the border agencies were really overwhelmed. I mean, they weren't able to process people in an orderly way. It makes you look a little bit silly to say that. And then, of course, some of the immigrant rights groups would say, yeah, but really what the policy should be is extending legal pathways so people don't, make a dangerous journey. And the Biden-Harris administration has done that, actually. They have, with Central America, worked hard to expand as many legal pathways as they can, as well as starting to really crack down at the border. But at that time, there wasn't as much evidence of that.
Yeah, well, there's starting to be a glimmer of hope for Democrats. We're going to take a look at some numbers here. Since Biden's executive order limiting immigration at the southern border recently, we've seen a significant decline of undocumented crossings. We'll take a look at that now, from around 118,000 in May to nearly 84,000 in June. This is the lowest in Biden's presidency. So what role did Kamala have in this development?
I think we've seen, first of all, the numbers are down to where they were at the beginning of the Biden administration, the end of the Trump administration, right around there. We have to see if this lasts or not. We're not sure if this is a temporary change or a long-term change. But I think there's a few things they've done that make sense. I mean, one is they have expanded the ways people can come legally to the United States at a time where the U.S. economy and U.S. labor market is looking for workers. And so, giving people a legal path is helpful. They've made it harder for people to apply for asylum between ports of entry, but they've opened up an appointment system for people to do it at points of entry, which is a good thing to do. I mean, they're trying to give people a legal alternative to come to the U.S. and apply for asylum if they want to, but do it in an orderly way at ports of entry. And they certainly have tried investing in some of the causes of poverty and crime, and in trying to really lean into fighting corruption in Central America. Which is something that I think may have also helped, particularly that part of fighting corruption, in people's sense of hope and decision not to leave their country. So we're seeing some things that they're doing right, but I also think it's too early to know for sure if the numbers will hold where they are.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.